Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD, and welcome back to some more Dragalia Lost content. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the Mercurial Gauntlet Level 50. Yes, Level 50. Level 50 has been released. It actually got released yesterday. If you got in here, I did manage to get the clear, and I did cost a lot of investment, but I got the clear. That's all that matters, right? If you're wondering what you get as a reward for getting the clear, if you get only level 50 clear and then everything else just like standard maxed, level 20 and then level 40 win. These are the rewards you get: 65,000 Eldwater, and you do get another Twinkling Sand, so that's really nice. And I just want to say I do have gum in my mouth, so that might make some noise during this recording. I do apologize about that. But yeah, what's this video going to be about? This video is going to be about my tips to getting the clear on level 50. Something to mention is if you're a newer player, this is like way end game content. It's going to be extremely hard to do it. But yeah, like I said, these are my tips. A really big thing to know is that he can be bogged once. So bog is huge in this. And another thing I want to note is that this is the team that I used to get the clear. I will play the video of my clear team, like my clear run, the very first time I clear ran it. And I have ran it again and cleared it, so this team is tried and true. It does work. So if you have this exact team, you can just run this and you should be able to win. Something to note is that you need to optimize everything and you need to be max unbinded pretty much everything. I don't see you getting a clear without max unbinded 5-star dragons. You know, maybe if you have like 4 body noise and some crazy luck with crits and stuff, maybe you can get the clear, but that's just too... I just don't think it's possible. So you're going to need max unbinded dragons, maybe not max unbinded weapons, so I didn't use any max unbinded weapons, but max unbinded dragons, for sure, at least 4-star. Definitely at least, I think you're going to need at minimum 1 5-star max unbinded dragon. You're going to need 5-star elemental weapons. They help so much in terms of DPS, whether they add a skill or not. They just really help. So if you're running what weapons I'm using the standard 5-star, the core 5-star elementals for their respective elements. There's no unbinds on these at all. The adventures I'm using a 46 noted LE Sand. I'm using also the only nodes that I don't have done on these adventures are their co-abilities, so everything else is done. 45 nodes Karina, 50 nodes Ayasu, and 50 nodes Lily. Something to mention is 50 nodes on Ayasu and Lily is very, very big on this team because of their co-abilities. Strength plus 10% and skill damage plus 15% are both offensive co-abilities, and they help so much when it comes to dealing DPS. So if you have them, you need to have their nodes maxed out at 50, because if you don't, you're missing out on a ton of DPS that you could have had. It's not as important to get Ellie and Karina up to 50. Yes, they do get a strength boost, but it's not as important as it is when you have an offensive co-ability like Ayasu and Lily, where it comes, strength and skill damage. Those are two really, really big factors of damage. So you really do want to get those up. Also, another thing to mention is that I'm actually recording this in my car. So if you hear a bit of an echo, I apologize. Yes, I said I'm recording in my car. You did not hear me wrong. I'm in a car. Don't ask why. Lots of reasons why. Don't ask why. So anyways, back to the tips. Another thing, the worm prints I'm running Halidom Grooms and Bellathorna on Ellie. What they both do is offer buff time up, so maximum of 30%. On Karina, I'm using Kung Fu Masters and Flower in the Fray. And on Ayasu, I am running Resounding Rendition and Levin's Champion because, he's a crit machine. And on Lily, I'm running Heralds of Hinamoto and Evening of Luxury. Now, these are definitely not the optimal prints, especially for Lily. Heralds of Hinamoto is not that great on her, but it is the best I have. Resounding Rendition would be better on her, but like I said, I don't really have another Resounding Rendition, so I just threw a Heralds of Hinamoto on her because that's, I think, the best print I have that's not Resounding Rendition, that's also for skill damage. So that's why I have that on her. Again, there's probably more optimum prints and stuff that you can throw on them, but these are what I have. Something to mention is that Ayasu is on this team. You might be saying, why is an off-element character on this team? Ayasu works, so does Natalie, and there's also other adventures that have, been tried and true and cleared that are off-element. Ayasu in specific, though, why do I have Ayasu? Well, Ayasu brings the Blade co-ability to the team. That's one reason. He brings that Strength plus 10% co-ability, which is really, really huge for everyone involved, as well as having his first skill, Sakura Flurry, which inflicts bleed, and that really adds to DPS. He's one of the best DPS adventurers in the game, so that's the reason I have Ayasu in here. Even though he's off element, he does extremely well, especially with Shinobi. That's his optimal dragon, so that's the reason Ayasu's on the team. I feel like he adds more to DPS than other adventurers that would be on this team. Some other adventures, if you're looking for if you don't have that exact same team, some other adventures that I've seen, actually they didn't save the okay, well, the adventures I had, I put a team, but I guess it didn't save or something. So the adventures I had that have cleared, Jacob was an option, but Personally, I haven't seen too many Jacob clears, so Fjorm and Xander are really, really good. I've seen a lot of clears with Xander, so if you have Xander, you can try him. He's very, very good. So Xander works. Fjorm, I have seen some clears with Fjorm, but Fjorm is not as consistent as Xander. Xander's probably better, so Xander is definitely higher up there on the list than Fjorm. Some other ones, I've seen Student Maribel clears. I've seen Sanoa clears. There's a lot of different adventures that can get the clear. You're going to have to try this multiple times and find the optimal, not only the optimal chains, the optimal attacks, the optimal times to use your skills, and the optimal time to use your helper skills. I should just mention helper skills right now. So your helper skill, you want to be using a helper with, that's Ellie. You want to use Ellie as your helper. Now, there's plenty of Ellies that are out there. I'm pretty sure most people have Ellies. Look at all these Ellies I have on my friends list. Now, there's two different types of Ellies you can run. If you're running Xander on your team, Xander brings the co-ability of Dragon Haste. So you might not need to run, I don't know which Ellie this is, but there's two different types of Ellies. There's one Ellie which has Bellathorna and Halidome Grooms. This is the plus 30% buff time Ellie. This is a good Ellie if you can get your dragon up. By your dragon, I mean Leviathan up on before, you know, right before he breaks, so you can drag him into Leviathan and get a bog up. If you can't, that was a what kind of an Ellie was this? Okay, anyways, I'll ignore that for now. The other type of Ellie, if I can find it wherever it is, I'm not really sure. Okay, I think this one, I remember this name. Yeah, okay, this Ellie, the one with Bridal Dragon, this is the Ellie with Shapeshift Prep. If you can't get your dragon up before his break, you want to run an Ellie with Shapeshift Prep. You could also run Shapeshift Prep on your team, but that loses some DPS, I think it loses some DPS in the long run, so I would recommend not doing that. You know, keeping either, thanks, Mom. Keeping either... I need to remember to block that out. Keeping either both of these on her, or it really depends. You could run Shapeshift on your Ellie, or you could run it on your helper. I could see it working both ways, honestly, but I would recommend it doing on your helper just because that's easier. Again, you might miss some DPS, you might not. I would try things out. I would try things just all over. Like, I personally use it for my helper. I use a Shapeshift Prep helper so I can get my dragon up before the break, but I could see it work the other way around. Now, another thing to mention is that Leviathan. Leviathan is huge for this fight. If you do not have Leviathan, it's going to be so much more difficult to get this clear. Why do I say that? Well, Leviathan has so much dragon damage, as well as having his first skill, Tidal Stream, deals water damage to enemies directly ahead, and inflicts Bog. Bog is huge for this fight. Like I said earlier, you can inflict Bog once. You should do it as soon as he breaks for the first time. You should inflict the Bog, so you got a dragon before he breaks, and then use your skill. And then it takes a little bit for the skill to go off, so keep that in mind, and then Bog him as soon as he breaks. It's going to add to DPS a lot. Another thing to note with your helper is that you need to use your helper to kind of stack it on break. So you want to use it twice before break and like during break kind of, and then you're going to use it one time during break while you're in your dragon form, so you can iframe his attacks. Now remember, you only get 3 helper skills, and there's 7 claps that you need to iframe, so you need to use your skills to iframe that. It is something to keep in mind. Again, there's probably plenty of combinations out there, but Bog is probably the most important thing that I've seen utilized in every single, I think, like at least 99% of the clears. Bog has been used in that, so it is something to keep in mind. Again, pay attention to when I Bog and try doing the exact same thing. Now, I used Leviathan on Lily because Lily also inflicts freeze, and if I use Leviathan on Lily, then there's no chance of her freezing Fafnir while you know, trying to Bog him. So that's the reason I use Leviathan on Lily. You could use it, you know, use these dragons in different places all around. Again, there might be some chance with crits. Karina is pretty much a crit machine with Dragalia John, Kung Fu Masters, so she might rely on crits. Same with Eyasu, he's also a crit machine, so you might get some bad RNG runs where you don't get any crits at all, and then you're just going to have to redo it. You know, it's probably not going to happen again, so don't worry about that. Just do it again. If you get a lot of crits, you'll probably clear with some extra seconds left over in that. So there's plenty of ways to get this clear. There's plenty of RNG involved. There's plenty of testing involved. You need to keep playing it and find the optimum chain combos. Again, you want to optimize your dragon timing, your dragon skills, your dragon dashing, everything. Again, for Leviathan, you want to do 2 hits and then dash, and then 2 hits and dash. Again, shout out to Jang in the Discord for helping me out finding all this stuff for the optimization sheets. Again, if you're also in the Discord, I can try helping you out, you know, with more specifics on your team or whatnot. Again, there's plenty of team compositions that have gotten this clear. So if you would like, share your team composition in the comments down below. I'm going to probably play the video of my clear. Again, it's a 2-minute run, so there's plenty of time to get the clear, and there's plenty of chances for, you know, crits, plenty of chances for DPS strikes. There's also plenty of chances to mess up. So again, that's the reason you need to keep trying it over and over. Now, I was controlling Ellie because usually Ellie uses her skill 2 often when, you know, it's in the AI's hand, but when it's in your hand, you can only use the skill 2 to iframe because nobody else really needs to be controlled. I feel like it's better to control Ellie. Again, I was using Body Annoy, so she's probably the weakest member on the team. But again, most of Ellie's DPS comes from her skill 1, which is a big buff. It's a big buff, and you want to use that buff as much as you can because, again, that's where most of her DPS comes from. She's huge. Flame is probably the easiest one for level 50 because of Leviathan inflicting Bog and because of Ellie. Again, Ellie is just so strong. Leviathan is just so strong. So this is definitely going to be the easiest level 50 to get the clear on. Now, will I be going for level 50 in Wind? No, I will not. My Flame team is nowhere near as good as my Water team personally. You know, if your team is good, go for the clear. I'm probably not going to. I wasted a lot of stun zones to max and bind Shinobi. I used 4 on Shinobi and I used 1 on Leviathan. So definitely not going to be doing this again. Probably. I mean, I might, but at the moment I'm not thinking about it. So again, let me know what teams you use to get the clear. Let me know what you think about Mercurial Gauntlet. What are your thoughts? Again, I'll have more of my thoughts in tomorrow's video or the day after's video. I don't know. We'll see. Whenever the thing is up, you guys will see what the thing is eventually. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped somewhat. Again, this is the true endgame content. Nobody expected this content to be the true endgame content, but yet here it is. Crazy. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully these tips helped somewhat. I said that really weird. Again, this is really hard content. You need max strength dragons. DPS is all that there is here. Again, iframe the attacks. You don't want to get hit because you lose out on some, you know, HP threshold abilities or skills, whatever it may be. Not skills, abilities. So again, you don't want to get hit. You want to iframe all those claps. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment. What do you think? What team did you use to get the clear? Do you use off-element adventures? Do you use on-element adventures? I don't know. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have yourselves a great day. And until next time, have a nice trip.